welcome. My live that I had scheduled, for some reason it was flipped the wrong way. So I ended it, but I wasn't able to go. I don't know YouTube enough, especially on the live side. I do normally post my Facebook lives to YouTube, but I'm a newbie when it comes to lives. Let me just try and pull this live up on my computer so that I can see if anyone is here. Okay, how do I find? Okay, so it says I'm live. Oh, mute that. No, there's okay. Now I see the chat. Okay. All right. Hopefully, you guys can find me because I'm not on the link I originally put on my Facebook and Instagram. It didn't work so good. So hopefully you'll find my live. I'm Linda Gibbs. If you don't know who I am, I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. I do a weekly live, usually on Facebook, but I've been having issues. It's been cutting in and out like every 5 seconds, and I've never had issues till the last couple weeks. And I can't seem to figure out, it's not our Wi-Fi. I can do Zooms, I can do anything and everything, but for some reason Facebook cuts in and out every 5 seconds and I can't seem to fix it. So I thought I would try moving over to YouTube and see if it works better. I've been meaning to try and I wanted to do one Facebook live and one YouTube live, but it just hasn't happened. So we're trying this today, see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't glitch the way Facebook was. Anyways, so this is my weekly live. I usually make 3 cards. They are usually technique based, but they can be anything from a new product to how to use basic products or how to use things in different ways that you might not have thought of, and then it can stretch your products and you can use it in different ways. So today I'm going to be using a couple of things. I always have kind of one major focus and then I pull in things from here and there, sometimes more than others. I just wanted, so there's 2 things that you should know. One is Stampin' Up! Announced yesterday, which I had a hard time finding it, but I did finally find it. So our new annual catalog comes out in May, June. Anyways, we have the pre-order at the end of March or beginning of April. So the white cardstock, basic white and thick white, are being affected. Prices are going up. They are reduced. So right now the basic white comes in a 40 pack. It's now only going to be available in a 24 pack, and the price is significantly more. They said something about keeping the quality, but prices are going up. I don't know if it's going to also be affected by all this tariff stuff that's coming on. It could make it crazy, but hopefully not. I believe, from what I understand, the thick basic white is going to only be available as a 12 by 12 now. Right now it's only available as an 8.5 by 11, and again I think it's only 20 or 24 pack. So if you love your basic white and thick white in 8.5 by 11, stock up in the next month or so. The other thing is, as of yesterday, there's new online exclusives that were released, as well as 2 new kits for the month. I did show you a sneak peek of some of the online exclusives last week on my Facebook Live. It's also, the video is on the YouTube channel if you want to check it out. I'm using a couple of the online exclusive items today, but mostly it's from the mini catalog. So I can, maybe at the end, if you want, I can show you quickly kind of what's just got released, but let's have some fun and get crafting. So let's see if I can flip you around. Hopefully the volume is okay. I don't even know. I don't know if I can zoom. Oh, I can zoom in here. Okay. Alrighty. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like anyone's found me, which is sad because hopefully as they join, it's not 12 o'clock yet. I came on early because I wasn't sure if, and I'm glad I did because my original one did not work so good. So hopefully things will work out. Anyways, this is the stamp set that I'm going to be using today as the focus. It's called the Tile Techniques. It's in our mini catalog, which is good till April, end of April, I believe. Now I'm second guessing myself. Usually there's a date, a start date. Yeah. Oh, it actually goes till beginning of May. It says January till April, but so it's good till the end of April into the beginning of May. So I picked this stamp set up because as soon as I saw it, I loved how you can piece together the pieces and they fit into one another, and you can make some really cool backgrounds with it. You could probably, like, you could do something like this where you have a centerpiece, but for the most part, I see it as a background stamp set. The one thing I did realize as I was making the cards is I really wanted to play with this linked together bundle since it has the stencils, but since I did stencils last week, I decided to hold off on that, but I did end up using the stamp set, and I love this diamond. Like, it just works in so many things. So I've used the diamond and I've used the stamp set for now. Hopefully I will get to a video on the link together with the stencils because, you know, layering stencils are always super fun. And again, it makes, you can do all sorts of fun backgrounds with layering stencils. So let's get started with card number 1. I kind of, this is a very off color palette for me, if you've watched my stuff before. The stamp set, I mean, it doesn't really lend itself to Mediterranean, but it kind of does, and I was so sad the other day when I saw I haven't even followed up to see where things are at, but there was all those earthquakes in Greece and Santorini, and that is like the one island I really want to see. Greece is on my bucket list and I haven't made it there, and I was like, oh. And then when I saw, I don't know, for some reason I had Mediterranean in my head and I had this kind of color palette. So when I started this, I went with a color palette that was a challenge through one of the Facebook groups or Instagram or whatever, and it was like 2 greens and a yellow, and oh my gosh, I'm not even going to show you what I ended up with, but I just was like, no, can't do it. So I ended up going with kind of a Mediterranean theme. I don't know if it's really Mediterranean, but I'm going with it. So anyways, this is where I'm starting. So I've got Night of Navy, I've got Blueberry Bushel, Basic White, and then Lemon Lolly. And then I've cut out a circle, which is from the, I always forget what it's called, Spotlight on Nature dies. Because they're such fun circles. They're not just plain circles. And I didn't pre-punch out all my... So the one thing with these circles, with all these little punch outs, is if you don't punch them out, actually, you know what I should do? I haven't done this in a really long time. I don't know if you know, but you can run your dies through your die cutting machine with, instead of a piece of cardstock, you can run it through with a piece of wax paper, and the wax just kind of makes that surface a little slipperier, and it helps these to not stick into the dies. And so part of the reason why I have so many in here is because my actual die, I haven't pushed the cardstock pieces that are in it out, so then when it cuts, it doesn't, like if the die is clean, it'll pull all of this out, but then it stays inside the die. But if you use some wax paper and you run it through a few times, it actually will help resist that stuck. Let me see if I can show you. So I did bang it out a little bit, but you can see it like on this one, how I have a bunch of cardstock stuck in here. So if I leave this here and I go on and I roll it through, or even like this one, you roll it through, then all of this ends up getting stuck in there. So maybe I don't. Let me make sure. Live chat. Okay, hopefully the chat is on. If you're watching, say hi. Let me make sure that this whole chat thing is working. All right, so I've got my circle, and this is where I tried stamping it just on a piece of paper and then cutting out the circle. And I did do kind of, I did take this from the catalog where they had they did this, this piece into a circle. And so if you have the Stamparatus, you could use your stamp positioning tool, which makes it a lot easier. But since not everybody has it, I want to show you how it is doable without, and because they're clear, it does make it easier. Why do I feel like open panel? Oh, see, it won't let me. Oh, there, Linda, hi. Okay, how come I can't? It's way at the bottom. Okay. This is weird how it's sitting and it won't let me join. Okay, how do I? Well, hopefully it'll. All right, well, Linda, I could see your hello, so I know it's working. But it's quite low compared to where the video is, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to see comments and if I'm in in view, not off screen. Okay, so I'm inking up with my nice dirty Versamark. I'm gonna stand for this. I have to, hopefully I don't get my head. And you want to take it at about the quarter. And I'll stamp it. And I'm gonna do one section at a time, just so I don't mess it up. So I'll do the one, I'll emboss it, and then I'll do the next one and emboss it. And if you are doing it this way as well, you might want to anti-static in between, because I know I always have moisturizer on my hands because they're always dry. And moisturizer will make the powder stick. Yeah, you'll long story, Yolanda, I went to go live on my link, and I don't know what I did wrong. I'm going to have to pick your brain as to how all this works, because I did it on my phone, and I went to go live with it in the landscape position, and it told me I had to be in the portrait position. So obviously when I set it up, I must have set it up wrong, and I couldn't figure out how to switch it. And so I had to end the live and then just start a totally new one, because, you know, I'm not very tech savvy. So sorry. I'm glad you found me. I know I tried so hard and then it was a fail. I'll have to figure that out. Oops. Almost forgot. And then you can have it so that it touches. You can have it so that it's, I'm going to try and almost touch. And hope that it's mostly sent. I found that I did better in terms of having it mostly in a circle than when I just did it on a non-cutout piece of paper. See, I'm slightly off, but not good to do this with the powder right there. You're lucky you came back from your warm trip to some nice warm weather, although I think I haven't looked lately, but it was supposed to be getting cooler. Not cold, but not as nice as it has been. Why? Okay, maybe you can tell me, Yolande. My chat is coming up from the bottom and it's lower than where my video is. So if I want to see if my video is okay, I have to scroll down to see the chat, and then I lose my video. I don't know what I'm doing. That's on my computer. I'm gonna have to, like, I know you use a streaming service, which I know you were looking at switching, so that doesn't help me much, because I had actually played with StreamYard and kind of messed around with it a little bit and was thinking about it, and then kept hearing you say that, like, I do know that it does stream with less resolution when you don't have the paid version. So maybe I'll have to pick your brain. Especially if I'm going to switch. I don't know what's going on with my Facebook. It just has glitched 2 times in a row, and it wasn't even 2 weeks in a row. And I had Mike check all the Wi-Fi stuff, but I had a class on the weekend, and we used Zoom, and I had no problems at all. So I know it's not the Wi-Fi. And you know, when your Wi-Fi is cutting in and out, you can see, like, the lines come and go. My lines don't come and go. It's solid, so it's got to be a Facebook thing, but I don't know how to fix it. Prism. Okay, well, I'll have to look into. That's getting pretty technical. I like turning on my phone. But it's probably easier to deal with the chat and stuff when you have streaming. Is that kind of the idea? So you can see I'm a little bit off, but not horrible. I'm okay with this. Like, you really, unless you look really close, and you're going to see, I'm going to cover up that middle part, so then you really are not going to be able to tell that it's not 100% lined up. So next I'm going to take a piece of Night of Navy, and there's this new mini corrugated 3D embossing folder. So I don't know if you were around in the days. I should have taken it out to show. I still have it. We used to have that crimper. It was like this big tool, and you slid your paper inside of it and you'd squeeze it. It was like a hair crimper, and you twist it and it would roll through and make a corrugated look. Well, now we have the corrugated in an embossing folder, which is much easier. I think I need it this way. And I'm gonna grab my big boss. See, this would be my like biggest wish, is to have, I guess I could, even with a webcam, I could have a second camera that I could flip to and have the big boss cam instead of bringing it over. But anyways, for now, I'll just get my exercise, get my steps in. All right. So now we have, I don't know if you can see that, the corrugated piece. And then it's just a matter of putting, oh, I'm like, where did my circle go? So I don't know, maybe I should put this to white. I'm really not sure about these cards. The color scheme of the cards. I like the cards. The one, actually the other two, I don't know. It's just the yellow I'm not sure about, I think. Let me know what you think. Okay, so to glue down embossed, I always use my glue because I find it gets in the grooves and it's just, it holds that little bit. Because otherwise, if you just have your seal, it might not get stuck as well when it's bumpy like this. That's just my preference. It does hold, just maybe not as well. And then I'm gonna once again use my glue to put this piece. Did I use the color cube? I started out, I pulled the blues from the color after I had, so you missed my beginning. I was saying that I originally took my color cues from a challenge from a group online, and it was 2 greens and a yellow. And I did my first background, and oh my gosh, it was horrendous. I don't even like those. Well, the one green I like, the other green I'm not too sure of, and then it used daffodil. I think it might have been better with lemon lolly, but I don't know if something's wrong with my daffodil, but it was like very orangey compared to, I think I really like lemon lolly, which is what this one is. It's, if there's a yellow that I can do, that's the yellow that I like. So for the top part, choose kind of your best, where it's lined up the best kind of thing. And then I'll just stick that down with dimensionals. And then I seem to be missing a piece of paper. That's okay. You don't need to see me stamp a sentiment. So this is here's the finished card. I stamped just a note, again, from the linked together stamp set. And so it's hiding kind of that little offset part here. And then it makes it look much more perfect. So to answer your question in a long-winded way, no, I did not use the color cube. I did use the color cube last week though, and I really liked my cards last week. I was very happy with them. So yeah, the color cube might be, instead of going rogue, I told myself, I pulled out the color cube and I was like, oh, I'm going to look for a Mediterranean something. And then I found a card that had like all the blues and whites, no yellow in it. It was just like a sky, or I can't remember. And then I just stopped there and I pulled out my blues and went with it. But like, I don't know, with this, when I put it on white, I felt like it looked like a Navy SEAL, or like a, I don't know, like it, I don't know. The yellow kind of softened it, I think. Anyways, you'll see the next one. The yellow's, oh, okay. You're not sure about the yellow either. Okay, let me, here, I'll grab a piece of white and show you. let's see. So this is the one with the yellow, and this oops, sorry, I don't have my sentiment, but see, white, it just like, it looks, that doesn't look right to me. Like it would have to be maybe a blue, or I don't know. What do you think? Does the white, it almost looks like a flag. I don't know. I don't know. I think the yellow is okay. I just don't know if it's my color combination choice. What do you think? All right, next one. The next one, the yellow, is very suited to the card, I think. So, I've got a piece of white, and I'm going to grab, so it's this one. You could use this one. You could even use this one. You could use any of them, really. They're all very interchangeable. I just have to remember that I haven't cut, I should have cut it down, but it gets really tight, so I didn't. You know what? I'm going to cut it down so that it's easier to know where I need to stamp. Even though it's a little tighter, I think it'll be easier to figure it out. Okay. Then oh, your boys must have missed you. I know I'm counting down the days till Andrew gets home. He's home on Saturday. 6 weeks. He was gone for 4 years, yet 6 weeks like seems like such a long time. It's funny. It's whatever you're used to, right? Like I feel like he's been home for almost 2 years now. So 6 weeks seemed like a long time. But, oh, and I forgot to grab. I'm switching over to clear embossing powder now. All right. And I think it's more the 2 year, yeah, it'll be 2 years. I don't remember I can't remember if he came home right away at the end of April, or if he went, because he did go to Peru, but I can't remember if he came home and then went to Peru. I think he came home and then went on his trip. But yeah, it'll be 2 years since he graduated. Crazy. And now he has to figure out what he's doing. He has to make a choice by the end of March as to where he's going for law school. So he'll be down to the crunch for decision making. I kept kind of asking him, you know, maybe once a week after he found out, and he's like, haven't thought about it. It's like, okay, fine, finish your vacation. I can't remember now. My brain's not working. I'm talking and stamping. Okay. And so Eli's almost done, because then he's got his job lined up, which is nice. My clear powder is quite dirty. It's got pieces of cardstock and like pieces of black. I don't know, I'm gonna have to switch that up, I think. So I'm doing the 4 corners. I should have done 2 of these corners. Yes, it's exciting, but I feel like if he goes away, I told Gavin, I'm like, all the focus is gonna be on you. It's like being an only child. Because Owen is not gonna be home, I don't think, at all. I don't know if he'll ever, I mean, other than coming for a week here and there, I don't know if he'll ever come back to live here with what he's doing, so can't count on him. I remember realizing, and I did tell Owen when he chose, like, I didn't realize until later that what, I guess mine I could do anywhere, but it was more, especially the kinesiology side, it was much more regulated and properly acknowledged in Ontario. But for ergonomics, I had jobs here. There's jobs like anywhere. But for Mike, I don't know if he thought as much doing, because he ended up doing his master's more on the automation side. Like he used to automate like robots for car plants and those kind of things. And those are all out east. Like there's nothing, like he was very limited if he wanted to stay in his field coming west. And I don't know if either of us really thought it through when he liked it. I mean, he liked the stuff. It's just, it sucks when you're dictated as to where you live and if it's not close to family or yeah. So I remember telling Owen when just like, you're probably going to end up in the States, which I don't know anymore. He says there's opportunities in Europe, but I don't know how, maybe for schooling stuff. Poor Gavin. Yeah, right. He just like hides now, stays away, tries to hang out with his, actually is funny when he's been injured and he was going to the gym more injured than ever before he's training. He just wanted to get out of the house. But hey, you gotta stay sane. It's tough being injured. I feel for him. So, okay, so I've done, I don't even know, you probably can't even see. It's got the 4 corners done. And then I'm gonna, so this is kind of the emboss resist color technique. And then I've got my blueberry bushel and night of navy. And I'm gonna come in and, ooh, almost just, my hands are just finally without blue, all day yesterday I had Smurf hands from doing these cards. And even, I can't remember if it was last night or it must have been last night. Gavin's like, Mom, your hands are really dirty. And I'm like, they're not dirty. They're just inky. Like, I've tried washing them 1,000 times. It just is where they're, and he's like, you're not supposed to ink your hand. Like, I can't remember how he put it, but it was just so funny that he was giving me the gears for, and I should have gloves. I don't know, when I do stuff like this, because it really bites. Like my hands were really badly blue. And a lot of it is from when I was wiping up the mess off of this using the baby wipes. I feel like a lot of times I get it. Or I think too, the ink is on top, sitting on top of the embossed part, and then gets on my hands. So yeah, I'm already getting messy here. But that is life. Life is messy. Okay, that's part one. I'm just gonna, well, I'm not gonna, should I? I don't even know if I should wipe it at this point. I will, just to try and have less blue hands at the end. But see, it just soaks right through and then it gets on my hands. I don't know. I don't know. Other than wearing gloves, I don't know if there's really an answer. Okay. And then I need to wipe. So I'm gonna wipe the blue off of the embossing powder. Or embossed image. Now I've got blue on there. And then I'm gonna take my Night of Navy. Yeah, you wear gloves, don't you, Yolande? Do you wear latex gloves? Wait. I might have to add a bit of dark here. Isn't that pretty? Like the images are just, they make, you can make, like you could make a square. Could you make, I think you could make a square. You could make like lots of different looks with these stamps, and they, the way they kind of fit into one another, the way they fit onto a background. It was well planned. A bit more on that side. Maybe if I didn't, the glass board doesn't help for, I mean, it helps make the inking part easier, but it does make it a little messier for getting. Okay. At least I'm one-handed blue right now instead of two. Okay. So I've got my background. Then, like I said before, the linked together bundle / dies, the I was gonna say triangle, diamond shape works really well with this. And then I ended up cutting out a lemon, which to me is very Mediterranean. It's from the, what's the paper called? It's from the annual catalog, Mediterranean Blooms. I think it's like that very first suite in the catalog. So I just cut, I fussy cut. That's the one thing, that Mediterranean Blooms, it has dyes for the oranges, but not for the lemons, which I think is very odd. So, and then I stamped Enjoy. I'm not going to go through it all since I still have one more background to do. I stamped Enjoy again with white embossing powder, Versamark, and then white embossing powder. Where did that white come from? And then I just put it together, and then I used the, this is from the Mediterranean Blooms suite in the annual catalog as well, Opal Rounds assortment. So you could use the blue, you could use the yellow, or you could use the white. So yeah, I think the yellow works here. I think you could put it on. Sorry, I'm gonna wipe this a little better because I feel like there's still, I'm seeing blue everywhere. Yeah, see? And it goes right through. So maybe it's the baby wipes that are my enemy. should just use a cloth and some spray. I just need a better, I just have the little spritzer. I think I need a better sprayer. Okay, so you could go, oh, that's pretty too. I don't know. Do we go the white or do you add that little yellow punch? I kind of like the white. I mean, the yellow is nice, but I kind of like this. What do you think? Vote, yellow or white. Maybe I'll make a set with the 3 of them with white and then put them against the yellow. Linda, you like the yellow. Wow. For a non-yellow gal, that says something. Okay. Next card, last card. I have 2 different versions. But I have to figure out which one I'm going to show you. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Do you want? I'll do the. Oh, I'll do the messier one. I could do the really clean one, or I could do the messy one. Yolanda, you like the white. Oh. All right, well, before I start on the next one, I am using these new, so you probably remember I went on a rant about why are they retiring the rectangles, the stitched rectangles, blah, blah, blah. They've come out with a new set of rectangles, and these are kind of along the same lines as the Spotlight on Nature circles, where they have a nice decorative border. So for this card, I'm using You're Seriously the Best. And this cuts it out just perfectly. And then I'm going to use the largest rectangle. And this is more than a bundle. So this is one of the new online exclusives that just got released yesterday. It also, oh, here, I'll show you. It's hard to see on. It has, what does it have? So the corrugated embossing folder that I used in the last card is part of that suite, along with these 2 designer series papers. So there's these beautiful woven textures, and then there's this black and white botanical textures, which is pretty cool. And then it's got some embellishments and ribbon. It's got a white ribbon, and it's got these nice neutral embellishments to go with. So that's one of the new suites that was released yesterday. If you want to see more, so at the very beginning of the video, when probably no one was here, I said I can pull out what I have out of the new online exclusives if you want a closer up view of what was released, but this is some of it. So again, I used the diamond shape from the linked together dies. I cut out some vellum, and then I've got, I think these are the same size. Oh, not quite. Why? Sorry, because I didn't pre-cut I don't remember. I would think the smaller one is for this one, but it doesn't. Oof, that's tight. Very tight. I don't know what I was thinking on that one. Okay. Maybe I should you know what, I'm just going to cut it right now, and then I don't have to worry about fiddling with it. Well, no, it'll be no, I'm going to do it after. You'll see why. You will see why. Okay. Let's move this. This time, I'm going to take, so this is a beautiful stamp, and it's nice and big, and it also fits perfectly onto a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of white, especially if you do it on either side. And then in the center, I'm using this one, but this one could fit, as you could see with the, you could probably also make either of these work as well. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really cool how they've done this, and you can kind of puzzle piece it together. So for this one, I'm going to use my Misty because, well, whether I was doing ink or embossing, I probably would want my Misty because then I know that I can, this feels dirty. I know that I can restamp it if I miss on the first go round. So hopefully this is clean. I'm gonna put it down here, and I'm just gonna leave a tiny edge because, like you saw, I was pretty close cutting it out. So I've got one sample where I've embossed it and done like the, it's kind of like the Joseph's Dream Coat technique. And then the other one I just stamped, but I feel like the embossed one looks the best. Yeah, because you guys know how to stamp. I'll show you the embossed one. So I'm going to use the clear powder again. I'm going to use Versamark. I'm going to anti-static that up. And this is quite a large stamp, so I will ink it a couple of times. Make sure it's well inked, because it is hard to see if like I can see it, but it's hard to see. Okay, so then I'll pick up this side. And we'll take our embossing powder. It would be so much nicer if it was all clear. I used to dump out my powders in between, and so I would alternate, and then they get mixed like this because there's just a few pieces left. So I've started having designated trays, and then I just use paper for that I've labeled with the colors, and that helps. But now I need to use non-contaminated powders to get back to the true clear and white. And like gold is gold, and there's no black with gold flecks or gold with black flecks. I told myself I was gonna do half of this, so I only had to show you one time, and I didn't. I forgot. I totally could have. Okay, so that's one side, and then when you go to do the other side, you want to make sure you anti-static it again, and I'm going to put it in the same spot as I had the other one, but that doesn't mean that it'll be lined up, especially like down here, but it does look pretty good, so I think I'm okay that way. And then I'm just gonna anti-static that. So if you have the Stamparatus, you can use the Stamparatus in the same way you would just tape down your paper. I have a grip mat in here. I'm hoping to find a grip mat for my stamp apparatus. I'm hoping Stampin' Up! Will come out with A, a grip mat, and B, a stamp positioning tool again. Because I know it was the Misty people that wanted to sue them because they thought it was too close to theirs, but I know there's other companies that have some out now. They're they're slightly different, but they're still the same idea. So hopefully they'll come up with one again. Although, what is it? I just saw before I came on live, they announced, the app, the water painters, the company that they get their water painters from apparently are no longer going to make them. So they are in search of an alternative manufacturer, but for now they just have the amount that they have. So if you need water painters or they're on your list, get them sooner than later, because when they're gone, and I'm not sure how long it'll be before they carry them again. But I think you can find water painters from other places, but that's the thing when you don't have everything off. I have to go here for it's just like groceries. I gotta go to Costco for this. I gotta go to Save On for this. I gotta go to Freeze On Bros for this. Maybe I'm just too picky. So this one does 4 corners and sides all in one, in 2 goes instead of 4 like the other one, and then you have the sides as well, which is nice. So I don't know if you can see. Hang on. I don't know if you can see that. Anyways, there's a pattern there. Now I need to do the middle part. So we will wipe that, and then I could leave this white, but I'm gonna make it yellow. Don't ask me why. This was my color palette, and sticking with my color palette. Or maybe I should do this one. Should I do this one white and do it different than my original? No, I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, so that looks about centered. Hopefully it's clean, or I'm gonna have a mark on my. Oh, that's why I put the. I thought, I don't need the yellow. I do need the yellow. Okay, so I'm gonna start, and this is where the positioning tool comes in handy, not only to make sure your color is good, which I'm gonna do one more time. There's a bit of missing, but it also allows you to do a color. And then the Versamark. But first, we will anti-static it. Then we add the Versamark. Because I'm going to put the clear powder on there too. Okay. So it does take a bit of time, patience. If you're really talented, you could do it all at once, but you know, if you hit the powder's not going to fall off, but if you hit it while you're stamping or doing whatever, then you're going to lose it. So I feel like it's better to just stamp, powder. Now, I don't know if this is going to be lined up where I want it, because this is a different, yeah, see, it's slightly off. So we'll take this off and we'll line it up as I stick my head in there. Okay, and then we start with the yellow again. Oh, slightly off. That's okay, because once again, I've got a sentiment going through the metal. No one will ever know. Except for you guys. Okay. Reverse mark. Okay, oh, I forgot to anti-static it. Hopefully it works. We will find out. I think it's okay. Looks okay. We'll find out when we put the color on. No, this is not always how it, so sometimes I cheat. If I'm just doing like a sentiment, I will, put it in the Versamark. I'll show you in a sec. I'll stick my, so say I have my sentiment here. I don't have a piece of paper. I would ink with Versamark, and then I would take my color that I want, and I would just ink it up with the color and stamp it down. Probably go on the back there. So it looks like it's yellow, but it still has enough of the Versamark that the powder will stick. That is my lazy way of doing it. You know, like, you most likely you'll have, you don't need to stamp it multiple times to get a good, like, so for smaller things, but for like a bigger thing like this, if I missed on the yellow, like, I want it to be more, more perfect, I guess, because I'm going to be adding color to this and it's going to really pop. And so if I have imperfections, it's really going to show. But no, for smaller things, I do the Versamark and the color together, stamp it, powder, and off I go. But for things like this, I will do the 2 steps. Just if you want perfection or closer to perfection, that's kind of where you go with it. All right, now I'm having troubles remembering if I used the Night of Navy or I'm going to start with the Blueberry Bushel because I can't remember which one I used. And this is where I get messy. This is where I need gloves. So you're going to take your ink pad and you're just going to so this outer part you could do in a color as well. I just, because of my Mediterranean look, I stuck with the white, but you could have a really colorful background too. Okay, so again, let's just move that. I'm trying to keep my hands as little blue as possible. Gavin has an orthodontist appointment after this, and you know, I gotta go out in public. My Smurfy blue hands are not always welcome. Okay, so then you want to wipe the ink off of this, and look at that. Oh, it's so, that's the best part, is wiping that. Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? So pretty. So pretty, so pretty. Okay, now oh my goodness. But see then, I'm just a mess. Okay, you could wipe it with a bit of, like, I could wet this a little bit, or you could use a baby wipe to really get the blue off and really, like, see how this is, or you could just use the cloth some more. Depends how long you leave it on for. Sometimes you need a little bit of help with some water or wet, and sometimes you just need a clean side of the cloth. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, see you later, Yolande. Nice, thanks for coming. I'll hopefully have time to watch for a bit. Okay, so then I ran it through with this textured background. I'm just gonna run it over and run it through so I don't have to bring it back and forth. Hopefully it cuts. It's a very tight squeeze. I'm just going to tape it so it doesn't move. So hopefully I get it all. And the last time I did this, because the ink wasn't dry, I did get ink onto my top plate. So you got to watch for that and wipe it if you do have ink, so that when you run your next page through, because usually your good side is face up, you don't want to get ink onto your good piece. So there's, I don't know if you can see that. It just has a nice kind of subtle, it almost looks like a carpet. Looks like the magic carpet ride from Aladdin. Okay, where's all my other pieces? So then I've got a piece of white for behind. Hopefully I cut it to the right size. Yep. And then my diamond. You could just go straight on if you wanted to. I found that this kind of just softened that yellow a little bit. But you could do it either way. And then I stamped the "You're seriously the best" onto there. But so if I had left this white and then done white, and then I could put it on a white background. But yeah, you could do any, like, you know, so this could be like a pink or a green or whatever. Like you could do this in a color, this color. You can swipe it with black and it really, any dark colors, you can make a really popping background. So that is the fun with, you know, it looks like a very simple stamp set, but it just, the possibilities are endless. I feel like I could just keep going and going with different backgrounds. Oh, and I did say, so this is the stamped, I went too light on this. I should have done, I used Azure Afternoon and Blueberry Bushel. I should have used Blueberry Bushel and the Night of Navy, but this is just the stamped so no embossing powder. So this is much quicker if you're looking to do something quicker. And oh, good question. So for the diamond, where's my, you always find where you're gonna, so I put, I actually adhered my strip to the diamond, and then I put dimensionals where the strip is. Or for this one, I colored the vellum, and then I glued this flat to the cardstock and popped this one up. But then when I put my embellishments on, I put glue in the back of the vellum behind the dots, and so they're glued there as well. This one is just floating. I find when you give it, like, because this one's glued directly on the cardstock, it tends to want to pop up. Whereas because I've popped this up with dimensionals already, it seems to stay flat better. So it's only attached here. And this one is attached with here and where the embellishments are. So that is how I adhered the diamond. Good question. I'm glad you asked, because since I didn't actually do it, I missed it. So here are well, we can leave this one here because it's different. We've got that one and this one. Cards for the week. So a bit of a different color palette, a little bit, I don't know, it's like spring. I'm dreaming of warm water, maybe just because I'm thinking of Andrew and his nice travels, but hopefully you enjoyed that. Yeah, I will not be live next Wednesday. I will be on my way to watch Elite. So I think, yes, I will have a live the week after. So it's just next week. There'll be no live on Wednesday unless I get there early and can do it from there. I'm not sure if we're driving on Tuesday or Wednesday. So either way, I will let you know, but most likely no live next week. And so hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks. All right, take care. Bye.